Hello, so today's video is going to be a book wrap-up video of some books I've been reading over January and February. And yeah, I kind of have three piles here, some like books that I've read that I'm going to get rid of, books that I have read and enjoyed and I'm keeping, and then a stack of books which I'm currently reading but unsure about where we're going to go with them because yeah, well, I'll get into those thoughts when I get onto those books. So yeah, these are the books that I have recently read, and I'll start with this one. This book I picked up from a charity shop, and it's in the Sweet Dreams series. It's kind of in those like teeny 80s novels that were published, and it's called Love by the Book. And yeah, it interested me because it was about books, and it's kind of a love triangle. The main character, her family own this old antique shop, and it's going under a little bit. Her parents aren't sure what they're going to do with it, but she loves it, so she offers to take over the shop so that they can concentrate on their other jobs. Hello. Sorry, my 3-month-old is right next to me laughing away, so if you can hear background noise, that will be him. But yeah, so it's kind of a love triangle shit. Yeah, sorry, I've lost my train of thought now. The main character in this, she takes over the bookshop and she really loves it, and she's trying to keep it afloat, and she employs one of her friends who is this boy, and obviously the boy is super into her, like he really likes her as a girlfriend and really wants her to be girlfriend, but she's interested in somebody else, but obviously this somebody else turns out to not be so great and it's not really for her. So it's kind of like one of those stories where it's like the moral of the story is, you know, the person that you're meant to be with is sometimes the person who's, you know, right there and is with you all along, instead of yearning for somebody else. But yeah, it's just like a teen love triangle-y romance. It was sweet. I did enjoy it. You know, like it was a cute little pickup from the charity shop for £1, but I think I will be passing it on because I don't think I'm going to reread. I'm quite strict with my books. I have a very strict policy that if it's not a 5-star, or if I'm never going to reread it, even if I enjoyed it, I'm trying to pass it on, because I live in a pretty small flat, and now having another little one, we're very limited on space, and I have a lot of books that I need to get through. So yeah, enjoyed it, but going to be passing it along. Similar vein for this, I have a whole review of this on my channel. I just filmed it before filming this video, and again, I somewhat enjoyed it. It was like, I think I settled on a 2 or 3 star for this. It's one of those books where it was super hyped when it first came out. There was loads of noise about it. Again, picked it up from a charity shop because I saw it and I recognised the cover and was like, okay, I'll give it a go. It was talked about so heavily, and it was okay. It was a little bit, the writing style I liked. It was easy to read, and I'm glad I read it because it was so hyped about, but I'm never going to reread it. If you want my full thoughts, then you can watch my review, which I think is already up on my channel. I think I posted that before this one. But yeah, not going to reread. It was a little bit boring. So yeah, those are the 2 books I read and that are definitely to go. Then I have a couple books here. The Tales of Jemima Puddle Duck. I am slowly collecting the Beatrix Potter books just out of nostalgia, and also reading aloud to my sons. I have dyslexia, and I'm fine with reading in my head now. I really worked on my reading over the years because I love stories. So yeah, I can read in my head fine, probably a little bit slower than the average, but I do read in my head. But reading out loud I still find quite difficult, so I'm trying to pick up books that are books that I can read to my sons that aren't picture books. I mean, they do have pictures in them, but there's a little bit more than just, there's more text than just your average like baby picture books, just so I can get used to reading out loud, because my oldest son is 8, so I want to be reading him more, you know, slightly more grown-up stuff than just picture books, you know, more actual stories, which again, like, I can read in my head, but I want to, you know, read them out loud, and I want to get better at my out loud reading. So yeah, I thought I would pick the Beatrix Potter books because they are nostalgic for me and I enjoy the stories, and I forget they're a little bit not so sweet. They can get a little bit dark for children's books. I forget. You know, the story of Jemima Puddle Duck. She's a bad layer, so the farmers won't let her have her eggs. So she goes off to lay her eggs on her own, and she ends up in a barn with a fox who she's naive and trusts, and he says he's going to look after her eggs, but really he's going to eat them and eat her. When the eggs hatch, and then the farm dog finds out and tries to go help her, but then her eggs get eaten anyway, and then she has to lay more eggs, and it's all a bit dramatic for a kid's story, but yeah, I really enjoyed it. So that's obviously one for the keep pile. Same with this one. Again, I have a review of this up on my channel. This one I thought was going to be a 5-star when I started reading it, and then it kind of trailed off a little bit, so it's not a 5-star. But I feel like I might reread it at some point. I'm kind of umming and ahhing about this one, whether I'm going to keep or let it go. But for now I'm going to keep, because some of my horror books that were in the horror hauls I let go, I'm thinking about now, and I'm like, oh, I kind of regret it. Some of them I might have reread or talked about again in a later video. And I feel like this might be one of those books. So for now I'm going to keep it, see how much space I have. But yeah, if you want to see my full review of this, again, watch the video. It's a book about a guy who grew up in a cult and escapes the cult, but then has to go back to retrieve his brother's body. And yeah, it all gets a little bit crazy, but it was an interesting read, so I'm keeping it for now. And then on to my current reads. So what I'm reading now, I'm currently reading these 3 books, and to be honest, I'm not really feeling any of them. They all kind of started off strong, and then they've all kind of trailed off to the point where I'm like, do I DNF all 3, or do I push myself to read some of them? So we have The Dead take the A Train, and I only started this really yesterday. And again, started off strong. The first chapter was super interested. Carried on. I'm about, how far in am I? Where's that bookmark? I am 45 pages into this, and I don't know if I'm going to continue. It's a bit sci-fi, and I'm not super into sci-fi, or my battery light's flashing, so I'm going to have to be quick. But yeah, maybe, I'm not so sure. And then these 2, this one I think I am going to push to read, because I picked it up, started reading it, was somewhat enjoying it. It's a little bit teeny, put it down and forgot about it, and then I've just picked it up and I read a couple more pages. I am 31 pages into this, and I'm kind of feeling it a little bit again. It's about Paul Bearer's Club. Some kids start this club where they go and basically go to funeral home and go to funerals as like a pastime. But yeah, I think I am going to continue with this one and push myself to read it. And then this one, Wake Up and Open Your Eyes, is a political horror. It's quite gruesome. It's very graphic, the first chapter, and I actually quite enjoyed the first chapter. I don't super like politics where it's like super in your face in books, because I feel like we talk about politics in everyday life so much recently. I talk about politics a lot with my husband. Reading is like my escapism from real life. I don't really want to be reading heavily political propagandary books. You know, it's my chill out time, not my thinking time. I read for pleasure and entertainment, not to like, you know, I don't know, push. I don't like books that push political ideas one way or another. And I'm 101 pages in. It's also dual perspective, which I'm not super into. I did find when it flipped the next perspective, I wasn't as interested. But I don't know. I think I'm going to skim read it and see how it goes. I may end up DNFing these 2. And I think there's a high chance I'm going to end up DNFing these 2. I will let you guys know in my next wrap up. But like I said, my battery light is flashing, so my camera is just going to drop dead in a moment. So I'm talking fast to try and wrap this video up. But yeah, these 2, I will see how I go. They may be in my next video, and I'll be like, yep, I completed it. This is what I think. Or I gave up and DNF them. But yeah, these 3 is what I'm currently reading, but I'm struggling. I'm struggling to pick up anything at the moment. I have so many books I want to read, but I just don't know. I have so many I want to read, but I don't know what to pick up next. And everything I'm picking up and like flicking through, I'm like, oh, I'm not really feeling it. I'm just struggling to find something to read in February. These are all my like January reads. I did really well with my January reads. But yeah, February, I'm struggling to find something that I really, really want to read. I think I am going to push through with this one and see how it goes. And then these 2, I might skim read and see how it goes. and I will let you guys know in my next wrap up. Have you read any of these? Did you enjoy them? Should I continue? Like, will it be a mistake if I DNF these? Let me know if you've read them and your thoughts. Yeah, that is what I'm